guys, attorney Marc Victor here with the Attorneys for Freedom law firm. And today I'm going to comment on a video regarding a shooting that happened in Phoenix not too long ago. And as you know, I comment on a lot of these videos. Some of them have happy endings, some of them don't. This one's a great video to comment on. I'm happy to comment on this one. And so here you have actually a use of deadly physical force. And of course, anytime there's a use of deadly physical force, or even a threat to use deadly physical force, what we're looking for is an imminent risk of death or serious physical injury. I think we got that here pretty clearly. First, we've got 4 different bad guys here. They all look to be pretty sizable bad guys. Any one of them, maybe by him or herself, maybe even if they're not armed, could pose a serious risk of a very serious physical injury. So no problem there. Here you got 4 of them. They're armed. It's at night. They're wearing gloves, which I think is important because it tends to show that they're up to no good here. And then they smash in the door. One thing that I like is the homeowner, who knows about this because apparently he can see what's coming from his Ring camera, doesn't just fire through the door. He instead waits until the door is kicked open. Why is that important? Well, remember, the threat has to be imminent, and we don't want to have any question about that. And so by waiting until the door is sort of smashed in, I think it makes it very clear that the threat now is imminent. The threat is definitely of death or serious physical injury. I don't think there's any question here. Also very important, critically important, I think, in this video, is that the homeowner does not pursue. We didn't see the homeowner come running out with a firearm in his hand, shooting at the bad guys as they're running away. That very likely would not be a good use of self-defense, because remember, self-defense is just about stopping the imminent threat. Once the threat's over and they've turned and they're leaving, any further action at that point is going to be seen as street justice. And you're going to have a hard time convincing a prosecutor that a shot in the back was done in self-defense. So I like that. Some things I don't know about the video. It says there's multiple rounds fired. Okay, so this could be an issue. Are some of the rounds fired after they've retreated? It's hard to tell from this video, but it appears nobody is hit, so there's no issue there. But at the end of the day, remember, you get to use deadly physical force if there's an imminent threat of death or serious physical injury, only as long as that threat continues. So once they turn and start running, which is what you see in the video, that threat's over. And at that point, you can't use any more deadly force or even a threat of deadly physical force. And so one other thing about this video that I think is important to note is that we don't know what happened after the video, but the question of whether you talk to the police. I know people would be very tempted in this situation to call 911 and say, here's what happened and here's the video. I still recommend you don't make any statements. I think it's fine to report the incident, to call 911, say, hey, there's been a shooting, here's the address, to hand them the video, they're going to get that anyways. But to stop short of making any statements until after you communicate with an attorney, right? Because we still don't know how many rounds were fired. Was anybody hit? It's possible somebody was hit. It's possible they were hit in the back. I think it's always better to be safe than sorry in a case like this and not make any statements. But this is about as good a shooting as you're going to see. The last point on this video is, man, wouldn't you love to see this video spread all out over the press, right? This video really should be the poster video for why people, safe, responsible, reasonable, competent adults, should be allowed to have guns, right? I mean, there's no time to call the police here. Who knows what horrible things may have happened had this homeowner not been prepared with a firearm to stop the 4 bad guys who were armed with firearms to come in. But you don't see this all over the press, right? Had this been a bad shooting, I think we would have seen it on the national news for days. But given that this is a good shooting, and one of many, many, many good shootings that happen across the United States on a regular basis, far more than bad shootings. Unfortunately, the press doesn't pick this up and run it. Although this particular station did, so kudos to them. Glad they ran the story. Wish it had been run more generally, even nationally. This is a case that looks to me of clearly good shooting. So this case right here is the reason why safe, competent adults need to at least have an option to keep firearms in their home if they choose. Okay, so to wrap up, my name again is Marc J. Victor. If you want to comment about my comments, you can always reach me. My email address is marc, M-A-R-C, at attorneysforfreedom.com. Feel free to check out our website. It's attorneysforfreedom.com. If you're a gun owner, especially if you're a gun owner in either Arizona or Hawaii, then you qualify to be a member of our Attorneys on Retainer program. Check out the self-protection option. For $25 a month, you become a client of our firm. And if you get charged with any kind of a gun crime, you'll see the list of crimes that are covered here, but almost everything that you could do with a firearm to be charged with a crime. We will represent you through trial for no additional legal fees. Yeah, you heard that right. 25 bucks a month, you get full coverage all the way through trial. Check out the details at attorneysforfreedom.com. This is Marc J. Victor. Thanks for listening.